And for more on this massive relocation, Clementine spoke to the African Parks Organization and began by asking about the logistics involved in such a large-scale operation.
Moving 500 elephants isn't a small undertaking. This year we're going to be moving between 250 and 300 animals. In many respects it's a massive operation with lots of moving parts, but in some respects as well it's an operation that is dependent on only a few key critical steps. Really what it involves is a helicopter going up with a vet in the helicopter, obviously with the requisite veterinary drugs, looking for a suitable herd, a cohesive family group or a suitable bull that meets the age requirement that we're looking for. The animal is then darted from the helicopter. The helicopter then tries to shepherd the animal towards an open area where the ground crews can easily access it. They are then administered the antidote to the immobilization drug and given a tranquilizer to combat the stress, and then moved into a crate into the truck. The trucks will be moving pretty much for an 8-week period, moving elephants between Lwande and Nkotokota.
So Andrew, why has African Parks opted for this translocation? Have there been previous examples of successes of this type of operation and on this scale almost?
This is one of the largest ever undertaken, but there have been prior examples and successful examples. In the early 90s in Zimbabwe, a large number of elephants were moved, about 500 elephants were moved during a drought period. And more recently, in around 2005, about 400 elephants were moved in Kenya. And we were involved in a translocation in Malawi of around 150 elephants about 10 years ago as well. In 2 of the reserves in Malawi that we manage, in Lwande and Majeti Wildlife Reserve, there's an overabundance of elephants. Their populations are doing well. The growth rate is accumulating, and the population is expanding beyond the capacity of the habitat to support it, leading to a number of consequences, including human-wildlife conflict. Whereas in Nkotokota, a reserve that 10 years ago had as many as 1,500 elephants, has been depleted over the last decade through organized poaching, and there's as few as 100 elephants left in Nkotokota. We have now taken over the management of the reserve, have secured it against the threat that decimated the elephant population there previously, and we now have an opportunity to move them into a sink where there's more than enough available habitat and there's space and room for the population to stabilize and grow.
What kind of challenges might arise from a translocation on this scale? I mean, there must be some risks involved as well. Could you take us through some of those?
Our primary concerns are really around the well-being of the animals and the people involved in the capture operation. A key risk is the stress that the animals face in the immediacy of the capture operation. So we are going to go to great lengths to make sure that we're catching cohesive family groups, that cows and calves are not separated, that they adequately tranquilized, that the process of moving them from the field through the recovery truck and into the transport truck is seamless and smooth with as little disturbance as possible, and that they will be moved into a small holding boma with adequate food and water in